All right, everybody, welcome to another great episode of Wrestling with Reality. I am John. Joining me, as always, my partner, Mr. Richie. What's going on, Mr. Richie Reardon? How are you tonight, my brother?
Glad to be here, man. Glad to talk some wrestling with you. We've had a lot of crazy news unfold, with some of these WWE releases, so we're going to get back into that tonight and talk about it. I'm doing good, though, man. I'm happy to be here. This is one of my favorite nights of every week. We got to talk wrestling, some ECW with Rewind last week. Had a blast, and we're here again, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a busy week already, so it's like, never stops, man. Life never slows down. I guess that's a good thing, though, Like, I've been taking a day off in like 7 weeks now.
It keeps you in line, I think. I'm glad we have this group here because I'm the same way. Like, I work all the damn time. But when you come and you have a group like this, it's a great time, man, to kind of kick back and talk about something we all love. So
it's necessary after grinding our asses off all week long at work. We're lucky. We're blessed. We got great incomes, great jobs. We're lucky guys. But shit, it gets tiring being responsible, my friends. I think everybody can vouch for that. So I'm glad we have this outlet every week of great people to chat with and have some fun with. And it's not about ratings and views and any of that shit. It's just about us having a good time each week, and that's what I like. So tonight's topic, we're gonna have some fun ones, but before we get into that, let's check and see who we got on the horn already. Lawrence is here, my friend.
G'day, mate.
Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Great to see you. Rabbi Moses, good to see us all circumcised Gentile wrestling fans.
Yep.
Shalom, Rabbi. Hold on, let me turn everything up here. Shalom, my friend. Good to see you, Rabbi. Jeremy says, have we raised enough money to get John that exclusively signed Natty book?
Oh, absolutely, man. That's peanuts. We'll get it anytime. $56, I think, or something like that. It's worth it. Let's all chip in $2.
No thanks. Fucking autographed and all from Natty. Had some kangaroo meat. It tasted good. I like it better than beef, and it's healthier than beef. I have never had kangaroo meat. Have you?
I've never tried kangaroo. I've had buffalo. I've had rattlesnake. I've had a lot of exotic meats.
Never kangaroo. Yeah, never had kangaroo. We got kangaroo jerky one time, but I didn't try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to like this exotic place for weird jerkies for like, they had like ostrich, they had like an elk one, they had kangaroo. Fuck that. The snake
elk
one was
really good.
Elk, yeah, I've had it before, like for the burgers and stuff like that they make for it. But see, Jeremy says that he's had kangaroo jerky and it's amazing. All right, nice. Well, hey, I like beef jerky though, except it's like when you get old, it sticks in your teeth more. So
I had to go to the temple all week after hearing Rewind stories. I think we all did there, Rabbi.
Yeah, yep, and shalom again to you, Rabbi. Hey Moses, how about you tell everybody about that special massage I gave you?
Boy, howdy. Good grief.
He's starting on fire already tonight.
The fingers.
These two have like a little battle going on.
Man, Jason's he got a little bit of a person he doesn't like too, huh? Mark Henry.
Nobody likes that pilot.
Mark Henry, before every autograph session, he's got to get the delegation first.
He's got to get him to approve it. He's got to get him to approve it, and make sure that he can do it and grace the world with his signature.
Jesus Christ.
Well, tonight's topic is going to be some modern stuff, and we're going to finish off the show with just a watch along tonight with Richie's pick. With Money in the Bank being this weekend, Richie decided it was his pick this week on what we were going to do for a watch along. We're going to take a few weeks off from watch alongs after this, just so you guys know. So next week we got a good topic. It was suggested by Jeremy, and Richie and I both really liked it. It's going to be top heels. So who's your list of top heels in wrestling history? And we're going to hear that out next week. So we're going to take a break from watch alongs for a few weeks, but tonight we got a good watch along, and in the spirit of Money in the Bank, Richie chose the initial Money in the Bank match.
What is going on?
You gave me no such thing. I tell you, massages aren't kosher.
Man, I think the diddler would say otherwise.
Oh boy, these guys! I love it. But we're going to watch the initial Money in the Bank. It's the one from WrestleMania 21. I'll give you the timestamp later on when we get to it. But it was when WrestleMania went to Hollywood. And this was Chris Benoit, Kane, Edge, Chris Jericho, Shelton Benjamin and Christian are in this match.
This
It's a pretty
is when Chris
star-studded
Jericho.
lineup.
Yeah, not too bad. This is when Chris Jericho had the soccer mom haircut.
Yeah, he had the soccer mom cut going on there.
What's up,
Benoit.
Randy? How's it going, bud?
Benoit, he was busted up bad, like even before this match started. So
yeah, there was and the unique part of this match too was Kane being involved. I remember even as a younger guy, I was like, how are they going to have Kane be involved in this matchup? That just ladder matches were not his style. So it's pretty interesting how he fits into this one.
Yeah, what's going on, Rand? Rand said he had buffalo jerky once. We'll need to try it again. As the one I had, it was tough and tasted like a dog's chewing jerky. I couldn't finish it. Yeah, I don't remember this Money in the Bank at all. I think I remember who wins, but I don't remember anything about this match. I don't remember if this was the match when Shelton Benjamin like ran and sprinted up the ladder. I think this might be it, but I could be wrong. So we'll see. I'll tell you, when you see Shelton Benjamin in one of these matches, Shelton Benjamin was always a guilty pleasure of mine to watch in especially matches like this. The guy was so crisp in the ring. I'm sure he still is. I'm sure he's still doing great stuff. I know he's in AEW now, maybe. But Shelton Benjamin's always a guilty pleasure of mine to watch. That dude has talent in the ring. He
does have talent. I just think he never had the promo skills. He never had the character. He never had character development, anything like that. He never brought me in. He never got me attached. Great athlete, great wrestler, could go like nobody's business. Just never got drawn into the character. Him and Brock Lesnar have been really good friends, and a lot of people say that that's why he got a job in the WWE. So
yeah, and with Benoit in this too, it's going to be a great match with Benoit. Sure. And honestly, this is Edge at his prime and Christian at their prime. Not that they're not doing great stuff, but you got a
what's up, buddy?
You got a lot of talent in here. Will Benoit be blurred out? No, he will not be.
No, absolutely not.
We don't shy away from discussing the matches of Chris Benoit. We don't condone anything that he did, of course, but we don't shy away from the matches component of it. We look at it from that perspective only. So Lorraine said he found some JCW on the ICP YouTube. Some episodes, may give them a watch and share. Excellent. I know we had one of the Juggalos last week just to swing by. Come on, Moses. You give me a brisk and I pay you back with my soft hand, or should I say my 2 fingers? And then Rabbi Moses is not liking this one.
Dude.
So, I thought this had Matt Hardy and Ric Flair. Rick took a nasty bump off the top of there.
I think we need to have a Wrestling with Reality pay-per-view, Rabbi and Rewind in the ring, man.
Bro, it's going to be a match of the century.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are a rabbi and you don't know what a brisk is. That's why I have a gnarly scar from it. Love Shelton and OVW. They were him and Brock were a team. The Minnesota Stretching Crew, I think, was their name.
What's going on, Wesley?
Yeah, that was their name, the Minnesota Stretching Crew, because of them being amateur wrestlers.
I don't want to talk about stretching anything with Rewind in here.
The things that he'll think about.
What was that even called where he took that woman out and was like, what did he call it?
Oh, he flogged her.
The flogging? Dude. I still can't get that out of my fucking head.
The laughs that we had last week on the flogging story when he tied her to the tree.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Let's see. Half those people in the match are now in AEW, and one is the president of the world, according to RTruth.
Yeah, that's what we kind of wanted to talk about in the topic for tonight. A lot of WWE releases just happened, man, and some weren't so shocking. Some were definitely very shocking. And one of them just came out of left field for me personally. I know for you, we're big fans of this guy. I've loved him forever. I love RTruth, man. He just did a program with John Cena on his GOAT tour.
The Ron Cena T-shirt that he had. It was the number one selling shirt too.
Where are we going wrong here, man? I get he's not a young guy anymore. He's 50-something years old. I think he's 55 now.
53.
53. Okay, so he's 53 years old. RTruth, the man right there. I know he's not going to be a main event player for him. He's not a needle mover, but he's a guy that comes out. And every time I went and saw the WWE live, he was always the first guy that would come out and fire up the crowd, get us laughing, get us in a good energy and stuff like that. And also, he motivated a lot of the locker room guys. They
love him. He's beloved.
They love him. He was a staple there for a very long time, and it was said that they just didn't renew his contract, which basically means he was released.
Well, they came out with this.
Triple H that actually made the decision, from what I heard.
Richie, they came out with this. a lot of people are heartbroken over Wesley.
I am too.
Yeah, as a wrestling fan, I agree. I am too. I love that guy. He's one of my favorite things to watch on this show. RTruth, your favorite, Lauren says favorite RTruth stuff is Ron Killings, NWA.
That was good stuff, man.
Yeah, I saw a lot of it, but some stuff came out. Apparently he was offered a contract for less money and he turned it down. So, I mean, think about that. Like, he looks like he did when he was in his 30s. Like, the dude, like, just look at the picture of him once again. Like, here, the guy just hasn't fucking aged. He still looks like he's in his early 30s, and he's in amazing shape. He's beloved by the audience. He's beloved by all of the wrestlers. Everybody just raves. Another guy that you never hear anybody say a bad word about ever. And, I mean, I'm sure he was making really good money, and I get the cost saving measures of things and business, and I get how that is. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But man, you're gonna bring back other people like Aleister Black or Rusev, and I'm glad they're back and for what they're doing or whatever. I'm not saying this against them, but you're gonna bring in all these other people, and you're gonna boot a guy that brings the morale up around everybody.
He brings the morale up, but not just that. RTruth has been around the block for so long. He can fit in anywhere on the card. If you need him to slide in the main event, you just saw him. Yeah. You just saw him pull it off with John Cena, and everybody loved it. If you need him to open the show, he can open the show. If you need him to be in a comedic skit, he could be in a comedic skit. If you need him to do serious stuff, we've seen him with Ron the Truth Killings. He can do serious stuff. If you need him in a tag team spot, he can be a tag. He can do anything. He made the 24/7, which was the abomination of all WWE titles in history. He made it the best thing to watch on TV.
Yep.
Come on,
absolutely.
Man.
It was a joke. It was stupid. Everybody shit on it right from the start. This guy took it, ran with it.
He made something of it. He can make chicken shit into chicken salad. I mean, dude.
Not to mention the Saturday
night's main
event
about RTruth.
Yeah, the Saturday night's main event that they just did was one of the highest rated ones that I think it was the second highest rated one that they've done. Is what the rumor is as well. And who was in the main event? RTruth versus John Cena. Was the main.
And I was actually excited to see it.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, the stuff with the Judgment Day was fucking hilarious. I mean, dude. And you have wrestlers that are legitimately pissed off about it, and you're seeing a lot of weird stuff go on. Gunther took everything off of his profile, mentioning WWE. You saw the Miz do it. I'm thinking the Miz, when his contract's up, he might leave over this. This could have some pretty big ramifications.
Did little Jimmy get let go as well? He's the only one who can see Cena. I hope little Jimmy's at least still around.
They better bring him back, dude.
RTruth goes to AEW. He was traded for May to come to WWE. We'll talk about that in a minute with Mariah May going to WWE. She debuted last night. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes, guys. You know what would be really funny? If they bring RTruth into AEW or wherever he ends up going. I'm sure Tony Khan would jump up and down to have
100%.
And then on his debut thing, he comes out doing his rap and shit, and then he does the whole RTruth typical thing, and he's and pulls out is like about him being finally here, and then instead of saying AEW, he just does fucks around and says WWE on their TV just to fuck with
you. Ain't Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, you ain't Shawn. You're not Triple H. He does Tommaso Ciampa.
Right.
Like he'll do something fucking funny with it. He'll make a joke about not knowing which promotion he's in. The crowd will get a great laugh out of it. It'll be a great moment for an AEW or whatever. And you got a guy that's actually a respected locker room leader and can go in there and maybe help out that promotion, that struggles with a lot of that stuff. RTruth could be the type of guy that could go in there and infect some positivity into some of the things that goes on, and maybe some of the stigma, things that people see in AEW.
Unfortunately, I don't think RTruth's, he'll make an appearance in AEW. I don't think he's going to be a mainstay.
No,
I think what they'll have him come over there, maybe be an agent. They'll have him do a program with Goldust probably, or Dustin Rhodes over there.
This could be a fun idea that Laurent, sorry to interrupt you. He mentions a good one here. Could you imagine RTruth going back to TNA, having another run with the title, doing some stuff with TNA and NXT?
The thing of it is TNA is with NXT and WWE now. They're not going to bring him into TNA. I mean, why?
Well, they've done it with other wrestlers. They've done it with a lot of the other people that are working over in TNA right now. So, Yeah,
I hope so. I mean, I hope so.
He's not a guy that's leaving on a sour note in any way,
Right.
Like he's can pretty much go to anywhere he wants. Yeah, he could go back to NWA if he
That's
wanted
what
to.
I was thinking. NWA Power would be a good one for him.
I know who you are, Tommaso Ciampa. That's one of my favorite moments with Truth was when he did that with Triple. When you can get the boss to crack and start laughing, you're
mine was Brock Lesnar, man. When he was sitting there.
Yeah.
The big Paul Heyman.
The fucking moments. I love when he runs into the women's Royal Rumble match and looks out. Where the guys at? He's just looking around, and then Nia Jax has actually a funny moment for once and takes him out.
Or he comes in with the ladder and the guys fucking roll.
Oh, that one is great.
It's a ladder match.
God, I mean, what is he doing? And then
why would they get rid of him? He could go anywhere, make anyone laugh, and a lot of it has to do with he was Vince McMahon's boy too.
Yeah, Vince McMahon loved him. That's what they said.
If Vince McMahon was still in charge, he would never get rid of RTruth.
That's what I did not know that until people were talking about that. That apparently him and Vince were really good friends, and Vince just loved him. And that doesn't surprise me that anybody would love a guy like RTruth, like you had mentioned. But Vince was his buddy, and Vince loved him. It's interesting. Rewind Matt's a good point here. He says, funny, Truth told us it was his last match with Cena when he came out and put the towel and said it's the last time now. People thought he was spoofing Cena and it was a subliminal message. I would agree. I think that was
weird. Yeah, I didn't put two and two together on that rewind.
RTruth shows up, thinks he's still in the WWE, he's in a different promotion. That's what I would do if you bring him in somewhere. Yeah. It would be a viral moment on the internet for them. It would bring them buzz. It would be great, Yeah. I could see him going anywhere, Rerun, all these promotions would want a guy like that. So
they should do a deal like they have with Braun Strowman, just leave it on the table, bring him in every now and then, and that would have been acceptable too,
And who knows, maybe that will be offered. I have no idea,
They should have made him a agent and behind the scenes type of thing.
I know. I don't understand it. Why they wouldn't do it with a guy like that. But then they got some fucking nothing happening piece of shit like Natty Neidhart still out there every week, and you get rid of our fucking Truth.
Yeah.
Come on.
You should have made him an agent. He could have worked with the Road Dogg in the back, and I mean, it would have been great. So
yeah, and it's gonna
somebody who hasn't been in a lot of trouble with drugs and all kinds of things like that. He would have been a great it's just
role model for people.
Yeah.
Well, then you got other, like you mentioned, there's rumors of other people. They're saying this isn't it for them. And the next rumored person that is going around that might not get renewed is The Miz. If there's anybody that has been Mr. WWE, you hate him, okay?
I don't hate. Listen.
You're just
I'm
not a huge fan.
I'm not a huge fan. I've never seen it, and the thing that fucking made me not like The Miz was the fedora when he first started. I could never get over that look, dude. It
was so stupid.
Man, I can't get that out of my head. And then now the Logan Paul-ish costume and it's bad.
I've always loved The Miz. I respect his work ethic and his grind. If there's anybody that's been Mr. WWE for so long, it's this guy. And if you need him to get up and do a 6 a.m. Radio appearance on radio in fucking Iowa where they're going to be, and he's been driving all night long and isn't going to get any sleep, Miz is the guy you're going to call to do it. He's the one that's going to be there, and he's going to promote the product.
He's another one you can put in any spot. Tag
anywhere.
Team, singles.
Doesn't have to win, doesn't have to win at all, right? And, he's still a person that people like to see. And he's been fairly good over the last couple of years of flip-flopping between babyface and heel over the last few years. I mean, he's never going to be a world champion again or anything like that. But if you get rid of a guy like that and don't renew him, that sure says a lot, man. Like that, it says a lot to me. I didn't care about really Carlito.
Carlito wasn't a big deal to me. It was a weird booking for him to put him in the Judgment Day. He never really fit. And I never really liked Carlito's return. I didn't think they did a good job with that.
Johnny Ace was given a plea deal to snitch on Vince more in exchange for not being in the lawsuit. I wonder if TKO thinks he might be mentioned in his statements if he was close to Vince. Not saying it's what happened, but the possibility is there. I mean, I'm sure the possibility is there for any of that stuff. I just can't see that, Like,
but where are we going now? We're jumping in the Janelle Grant thing.
Well, they're saying with RTruth, like being a close friend of Vince's and somebody that had a personal.
You think that RTruth was involved in that stuff?
That's what. No, he was saying. He said, "What if he knew things and they were trying to get rid of him?" He's not saying it happened, but the possibility is there, and the possibility is always there for anything. You never know what happens. Sure. I don't see RTruth being that type of guy. I think he's been married to the same woman for like 30 years or so too. Yeah. He's another one of those guys that is, you just see him and he's probably not one of these bastards that's going and doing all these dirty things on, and doing that type of shit. So, I mean, I don't, RTruth, I know.
Alrighty, let's moving on.
He doesn't strike me as that type, I'm just gonna say it. It just doesn't strike me as that type. That I'm not saying he's a perfect dude in any way. Like you said too, he was always the heater that warmed the crowd up all the time. Yeah. Yeah. He was always the guy that you'd come out. My kids never were wrestling fans, but when we take them to an event, they always knew RTruth when he came out because of the rap song. Up? Yeah. You could give a damn what's up. Everybody in the fucking crowd, no matter what, is yelling what's up. Yep. I mean, he's always so much fun, man. I'm gonna miss seeing him on programming.
I'm gonna miss it too, and I'm very ashamed of WWE. I think they should have let him go out on a shield, and he should have had a retire. I guess that is the best way you could do it, is put RTruth in a main event against John Cena. If he is gonna have a last match, why not make it against the GOAT?
TNA has heaps of ex-WWE talent working with WWE. The Hardy Boys, for example, Dolph Thunder's real name, and the Hardy Boys just did something over in NXT with them a little while ago.
Didn't Cardona just wrestle for TNA as well?
I don't know. For our TNA fans, let us know if you know that. I don't know if he did. It's always surprised me that Cardona's never gone back there in any capacity.
He was one of the guys that I thought was going to make like a Drew McIntyre kind of return, because he went out and made a pretty big name for himself, big splash with the Deathmatch King and all that kind of stuff. So I always thought he was he was going to come back and do something.
Rewind says, don't forget about the great Carlito getting released and Dom wearing his shirt on Raw to pay tribute to him. What a guy Dominic Mysterio is.
Dom's living his best life. He just had a kiss cam moment with Liv again.
Bro, he's getting all the fringe benefits, man. He's enjoying life.
Dom said that Matt Cardona's still on the TNA roster. He looked like an hour ago. So yeah, he's still on there.
Okay, there we go. WWE should just release Nadia. She working for other companies anyways, doing well and isn't. Please release her. No, I'm in all seriousness, I would not wish that on anybody, even if I don't like
Yes, Natty. You would. Natty fucking Neidhart, you would. Come on. Don't do that after the
Well, she's a fucking millionaire, so fuck her.
Yeah, the promo you cut, you can't go back on that. Come on.
No, I know. I'm trying to be sensitive that I'm
sure it's not. Nyla fucking Snacks can get the fuck out of WWE.
So when are they gonna shock everybody and release Randy Orton? If they do that,
dude, I'm done.
Oh, no way.
I'm done.
Yeah, no way. No.
I am done. If
Randy fucks with a lot of people. This guy's got a job for life. He's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Anytime soon. Comedy rap album. I bet you that shit would be pretty funny, Rand.
Yeah.
Has the W gotten too watered down of a promotion due to them being a TKO company?
I don't think so. I think TKO, the partnership, has done nothing but help them.
For Johnny to be part and he can make up lies is all I'm saying. Yeah, Johnny can make up any lies he wants. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm tired of hearing about that shit because they haven't gone.
They're not doing anything with it.
They're not doing anything. It was this explosive thing. At this point, Vince McMahon should still be in WWE, in my opinion. He hasn't been proven guilty on anything. Brock Lesnar should still be in WWE, in my opinion. He hasn't been proven guilty on anything.
Well, for the baseball fans out there, go look at Trevor Bauer. You ever heard of the name Trevor Bauer, Richard?
Yeah, he had the same problem go on.
Yeah, he had a bunch of people that accused him of things. Did he have a little bit of a adventurous sex life? Apparently, yes.
In every sport,
he had
Ben Roethlisberger with the Steelers.
Yeah, so this guy hasn't been able to get a job
with the Lakers.
This guy hasn't been able to get a job in professional baseball in the United States to save his fucking life. Former Cy Young Award winner. He's literally killing the competition in Japan and Mexico. Can't do anything.
Jason, what the fuck?
They need to release Michael Cole. He's about as useful as a. They get a Ron Jeremy scene.
Dude. R.I.P. Ron Jeremy, I guess. Good Lord.
Cardona's wife is still with WWE on the SmackDown
Chelsea
roster.
Green.
She's great, dude.
She is good.
She's really good.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, most WWE vets are guilty of having a good relationship with Vince, but I doubt they're guilty or RTruth, and doubt RTruth would be involved in that. Yeah, I would say the same. I still doubt the validity of Brock Lesnar being involved in there. It doesn't strike me as what Brock would do, but who knows? I could be wrong. Jeremy's on double duty tonight on Facebook and YouTube as Mr. Rabbi Moses.
Yeah, I mean, Rewind cleared his name. We know he's not Rabbi.
Yeah, we learned that one last week. So somebody's under the hidden Rabbi Moses account.
I think it's you, Johnny.
Yeah, it's me right now. I don't know Jeremy. Sure, Rabbi. We'll see. Well, Money in the Bank 2025 is this weekend. Are you planning on watching it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been trying to religiously follow wrestling now. I don't watch SmackDown. I don't have the time for it with my wife and kid, work, side business, everything else. For this show and this purpose alone, I watch Raw and I watch the PLEs. So I will pledge that to you guys that I do watch that to continue this podcast.
I had no idea that Money in the Bank was this weekend, or I had no idea who was even in either of the fucking matches until Jeremy mentioned it to me today. And I was like, oh shit. I said, that is this weekend, isn't it? I think I'd heard, I thought it was maybe like this weekend or next. And then I was like, who the hell is even in the match? So I had to look up what the matches were going to be. So let's do a little predictions, and you guys give us your predictions here too. Throw them in the comments. I'll cover first Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. I could give a shit. Yeah, I could give a shit less about it. Where do you think they're going with this, Rich?
I think John Cena and Logan Paul obviously are going to win. They're trying to set Logan Paul up for a future title match. They're going to make him a champion eventually. They're trying to give him the rub off of Cena and stuff like that because obviously they're investing a lot of stock in him. And when Cena goes, he's going to be the next kind of star that they go into. I really believe that Logan Paul is going to have a huge stock put in him from WWE, unfortunately.
I don't really understand why you'd waste one of Cena's appearances on this garbage shit, Like,
I think it's Cena's idea.
Okay. You don't need it to, make people want to see this. People want to see this for Money in the Bank. They don't. This is just.
I want to see WWE championship matches. I don't want to see fucking tag team matches with the champions in it.
Yeah, they're just not interested. Jey Uso is such a stinker as a fucking champ. You want to talk about?
There's been no meaningful anything.
Nothing. And you know what the funniest thing is? They had the lowest. I think it was last week. They had the lowest rated Raw in history. It was under 1 million on Netflix.
The lowest rated Raw in history.
Oh yeah, 900
ever.
I believe since the modern cable era, but definitely on Netflix. It was 936,000 people watched it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was last week on Netflix. So I'm pretty sure
SmackDown's beating Raw right now.
Oh, they've been beaten. I think they've been beating Raw for a good period of time.
Really?
Yeah. When they were on Fox, they definitely were. They were crushing it. So,
wow.
But definitely the lowest one of the Netflix generation since they've been on Netflix since January. But I believe it's the lowest ranking Raw of all time. So 936,000 was the number.
They made the worst move, in my opinion, taking the title off of Gunther. Gunther is the hottest thing going for the Raw brand. He is the best thing going, and to take the title off of him was silly.
Where are they going with Gunther? Do you think it's going to be to have that match with Goldberg for his retirement match?
I fucking hope not. I hope not because, for one thing, I don't want Goldberg dropping Gunther on his fucking head and paralyzing him, you know.
And ruining probably the best, wrestler that they have on. I think it's going to be.
You know for a fact, I've never been a fan of Walter. I've never been a fan of Gunther. I was very critical of him when I saw him. Didn't understand what the hell the ring general stuff was about. Didn't understand the trench coat, none of that stuff. This new Gunther that's a heel and a fucking cold-hearted bastard, I fucking love that heel gimmick that he's got going, dude. He is the hottest thing going in the Raw brand right now.
I've always been a fan of Gunther. I've always just thought he was awesome. So I've always been beaten to the drum of Gunther, man, and making sure that I love his matches.
Bro, he has it.
He is when he just doesn't have a bad match with anybody, really.
Not a bad match, but it's not even just that. The character
his delivery and his character and how he talks, I love it.
His timing is perfect. You don't have that in a promo anymore.
And he's so
promos. When he said when he was talking to to Pat McAfee and was basically telling him he was going to beat him to a bloody pulp, or when he said it to Logan Paul on June 9th, you better bring your best shot and all this stuff. Like, you believe that shit. And he's a legitimate badass. And you believe he's going to hurt this man. You know, it's like a real fight feel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you should have had him tap out to Jey Uso. First off, I thought that was lame as shit to have him tap out to him.
Dumb as fuck.
Like, Gunther is, to me, the guy that you believe everything he says. And when he gets on the mic and he does it, his promos are so underrated to me too. Like, people don't give him enough credit. He paces them so perfectly. He's so serious and just in his delivery and his tone. Like, you just think that this guy's just a killer and is just going to take everybody out.
You know how MJF was on fire and everybody said he was going to be the best heel in the business and all this stuff like that. Gunther, to me, has the delivery of an MJF when he was on fire. Straight up. Like, that's the level of talent that this guy has, and even more so. And you can tell he's dedicated for the body transformation he had, all that stuff. Like, he's in this for the long haul. He's not doing this to become a movie star or a TV actor or anything like that. He's in the wrestling business for the long haul.
He's no young kid either. I think for Gunther, I think he's in his late 30s, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. So he's not some young kid anyways, but this guy's been putting clinics on around the world for years, and he's been dominant in the WWE for years when he was in the NXT brand, and then when he came the IC title run. Gunther should get this belt back soon. I think that Jey, we said it from the start that we thought Jey was going to be a transitional champ, and I think it's definitely going to happen. I think if pulling in under 1 million people on Netflix isn't enough of a glaring example why you need to probably get rid of this guy as your champ. I don't know what to say if you don't realize that. But
so my opinion is they need to move Gunther over to SmackDown and make him the actual WWE champion. That's my opinion. He belongs in that picture. He needs to be the face of the WWE.
So like when they do like a brand split, maybe.
Yeah, him and Cody Rhodes would do a great program. Him and Braun Breaker would do a great program. He needs to crush Seth Rollins when he wins the fucking title. Gunther is the man right now. That's my opinion.
He's 35, Rand said. Thanks, Rand, for that. Yeah, so he's in his mid-30s, so he's still got plenty of time left. He's got a lot to Cross and Gunther as a tag team. Rand, I don't want to see either of them in a tag team.
I want to see Cross back as Killer Cross in the main event picture.
And then have Gunther as the killer that he is going and doing those things. Yeah.
Both of them on opposite brands.
I'm tired of the bloodline stuff. It needs, I'm tired of seeing its course. Yeah, it's over and done with to me. Let's look at the men's Money in the Bank. We'll do the women's first. So let's look at the women's Money in the Bank match now. So this is who we got, and I want to hear you guys' picks on this. Who's going to be your winner of this match? And you guys make your picks in the comments. So it's going to be Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Naomi versus Steph Vacher. This is going to be the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. This is going to be a good match, I think, actually, on paper. These are some talented performers. There's not a weak performer in the ring here of women. I like the mix of this. This is going to be interesting to see who pulls it. So I'll go with you first, Richie, and you guys put yours in the comments. Who do you think is going to win this match between Alexa, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Steph Vacher?
Rabbi thinks Natty's going to win.
Fuck off, Rabbi. She ain't winning shit. She's not even in this.
I think Stephanie Valkyr, or however you say her name, I think she's going to have a great showing. They've been putting a lot of stock in her lately. In all her matches on Raw and stuff like that. Even with this last qualification match she looked really good. But I think that Rhea Ripley probably gets the Money in the Bank, gets her comeuppance, and wins the title back at Mania.
I'm gonna go different here. I'm gonna switch. Rhea's kind of had her time to me. I mean, she does really well, but she's kind of had her time for a while for me. I think the one to win this is going to be Alexa Bliss. I think they're going to set something up for her on SmackDown. I think Alexa Bliss is going to take this one.
You don't think that she's had her time over and over and over again?
No, she just came back, and they've been pushing this stuff with her and Charlotte from what I've read. So, and they've also been teasing the stuff with Tiffany Stratton already with her. And, Tiffany's had the belt for a good period of time now. I think it's getting close to time to take it off of her eventually, too. So I think Alexa brings a little bit of freshness over to that title. You can have a little bit more different feuds with Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair or whoever that they might have on that roster that she's with. I think Alexa might be a good one to pick up the victory here. Steph, I know I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Steph Vakir or Vakir. She is just fucking great in the ring, and she's beautiful. She's awesome. Yeah, like she's a star in the making, and is solidifying herself very fast as one. I just don't think it's her time yet.
Yeah, I think she's gonna have a great showing, kind of like a Jade Cargill moment, but I don't think she's gonna win.
Let's see. Lawrence is going to go with Alexa getting the big win, making her comeback. Okay. Roxanne for Jeremy. Wesley says Rip, so it must be for Rhea. I hope Mommy wins it for Rewind, so he's going to go with Rhea. Rand's going to go with Steph Vakir. Santino Marella should come back and win it.
Jesus, Rabbi, get out of here.
I do love Santino, though. He's pretty great.
Too.
And Wesley's going with either Ripley or Bliss. You make a good point. Well, thank you. I think, to be honest with you here, I don't think there's a bad choice with any of these performers, except Naomi's even been doing good work,
Yeah.
Like she's even been doing really good work too.
And that's hard to say because I've never thought she was talented.
I don't either. She's actually done pretty good as a heel from what I've seen. Alexa Bliss, Stratton. I think that's the match to make. Lawrence, personally, for me. But we'll see where they go with it. Steph Vakir, she's beautiful.
Always Lawrence, the horn dog.
Lawrence is a big fucking horn dog, man. He's always throwing some zingers in there for that. All right, let's look at the men's one right now. We got Solo Sikoa. Oh, Jesus. Why do they put this fucking guy in anything?
You're not going to like my take on this.
All right, hold on. So, Solo Sikoa, LA Knight versus Penta versus Seth Rollins versus El Grande Americano versus
Let me just
Andrade.
say, there was a lot of people pissed off that Americano qualified in this match. Okay.
Why?
They thought that CM Punk should have been in. They thought, they couldn't believe that Americano went over. If you couldn't see the shit that they were trying to set up for this, that they were going to put Americano in there, he's not going to win the fucking Money in the Bank. But they had to put him in there. They've been putting this guy in our face nonstop with Penta and that program. Neither one of those guys are obviously going to win it. Penta's going to have a great showing. They're setting it up for Seth Rollins to get it again. If they don't go the route with Seth Rollins, they're going to have Solo win it.
God.
Just trust me on that. That's their backup plan if they don't have Seth Rollins.
If you think Jey Uso's title run is a dud, put it on Solo Sikoa.
Dude.
That fucking guy is a channel fucking changer to me when he's on. He has absolutely...
Americano is not Nick Hogan, actually. It's Amos.
It's the mystery of El Grande Americano from the Gulf of America. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who are you picking, though? Who's your serious winner that you're going to pick?
Seth Rollins.
All right. I don't think I'm going to go with Seth for this reason. I think Seth is going to get the match cost by probably Roman Reigns or CM Punk, or one of them might have some interference. Roman's primed to come back and get a little redemption against him. And Seth doesn't need, the Money in the Bank to me, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to go with a wild prediction, and I'm going to go with El Grande Americano to pick up.
Dude, if he wins, I will be so fucking happy. Him or Penta pull it out. I will.
Those are the two that I'd like to see. I'd like to see Penta, or I'd like to see El Grande Americano, but I'm going to go with.
I don't want to see Pentagon Jr. be a tag team wrestler. I don't.
You'll see him have spurts with it with Rey Fenix later on, but it's not going to be anything permanent for him because both of them are too talented on their own. They can do other things, and you can always bring them together at different times. Rabbi Moses is going with LA Knight. That's who his pick is. Not a bad pick for LA Knight.
Seth Rollins is half Mexican.
He is. His name is, I believe his last name is Ortiz, if I remember correctly. I think it's like Ortiz or something like that. But yes, he is half Mexican. So
I had no idea. Right
Seth will win. But as a half Mexican American, I'm rooting for my home team, El Grande Americano.
Absolutely.
El Grande Americano has won the hearts and the minds of so many people in the professional wrestling world, Richie.
Americano is awesome. I mean, dude, and he came at a great time with the glorious reign of Donald J. Trump.
And he was just having fun with it,
Oh,
Lopez is his last name. Thanks, Rabbi. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't even.
No, it's okay. They pinpointed off of some of the stuff like the Gulf of America and all that shit and everything. Like
this is classic WWE poking at shit like that, and I love it.
Yeah, there's a place for it. You know, have fun with it.
It's like when they did the Russian stuff and all that. Like it's great. It's awesome.
It's entertainment. You know, and that's the fun of it. So Colby Lopez is his name, aka Seth Rollins. So yeah, there we go. Colby Lopez. I was close, but Lopez is his last name. I don't know. I think they're going to be great matches for all of these matches. I think they're going to be great, but there's nothing that's like off the chart, like blowing me away to want to see one of these people win the Money in the Bank. If it was me, I know he's got the IC title right now. I've been saying it forever. Dom Mysterio should have won the fucking Money in the Bank for me.
He should have the Intercontinental title and win the fucking Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Make him a made man by doing something like that.
Yep.
Dom Mysterio.
They should turn this guy into the biggest, monstrous, cowardly, chicken shit fucking heel you could ever. And you could do that with him. Seriously. And then you need to play off, Eddie Guerrero being his real father and just go as grimy, as cringe as you can get with this guy. You should do it. Straight up. And it would be over like Rover, dude.
The money is there in this kid. Anyways, the crowd really loves to fuck with him, and then they're starting to really, take to him as well. And think about this. This was this nerdy looking dork coming in, 5 years ago during the pandemic. And he's coming in with his dad looking like,
looking like Rey Mysterio from Wish,
Yeah. And it was awful. And people are like, get rid of this kid. It's terrible. He turns on his dad, goes heel. Dad puts him in prison, that bastard, the deadbeat father that Ray is.
And Dom becomes that. Like, if you go back and you watch the archives of our show, we called that way, way before it happened.
Absolutely. It's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the adversity that Dom Mysterio has overcome in his life. Deadbeat father,
dad, prison,
shot
caller in the prison yard.
From being in an abusive upbringing that he was in to being going to prison to being a shot caller,
being abused by mommy.
Yeah, now he's the Intercontinental Champion and is arguably one of the greatest
rightful leader of the Judgment Day.
Absolutely, one of the greatest stars of the modern era. He's got a wife. He's bopped mommy. He's been doing the hippity dippity with fucking Liv Morgan. This guy is a hero to many of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
He proves every day that adversity, he
pisses excellence, dude.
Shoot, beyond pisses excellence.
Yeah.
All right, beyond that shit. Could Americano be Dom? Wouldn't that be great if they found a way to do that? To make it look
funny.
Like
that would be hilarious.
Dom's
I love when he packs the mask with the brick.
Yeah. Look at this. This is interesting. Dom going to jail got me back into wrestling. Interesting.
Dude, some adversity. I get it.
He's about to help Roxanne win on Saturday, and then they turn on Liv. I mean, Dom needs some variety in his life. He's
I don't know if he should turn on Liv, man. That's
I know. But hey, Roxanne's a beautiful woman. I mean, this is Dom Mysterio we're talking about, okay? He can have any chick he wants. That mullet, the mustache, come on.
That mustache alone, dude. That's a panty dropper.
Rewind says, I'll be there to pick Liv up. I would too. We all would, I think, on that.
Rewind, I thought Liv was a little young for your taste.
If it was Wendy Richter or Cyndi Lauper or Linda McMahon.
He'd be right there. Girls just want to have fun.
He'd be right there. Don takes over the LWO. No way. I hate this LWO
Please, no. Shit. I hate LWO.
I hate it. Lawrence. It's one of the worst factions in WCW, and it's just as bad when they brought it here.
God.
Liv never gave him his chicken tenders. Oh, Dom Mysterio. What a guy. All right, guys. I think it's going to take us on our take us to the end of our modern topics for the week. So we're going to close the show tonight. We're not going to do an overtime tonight because me and Richie both had like a 12-hour work day today, and we are going to we'll give a little bit longer next week. We'll go for it, but we both got to get up early tomorrow too. So unfortunately, duty calls, so we'll have a little shorter than we normally do tonight. But if you guys want to watch along with us, load up Peacock. It is going to be WrestleMania 21 is where we're going to be tonight. So look for WrestleMania 21, and we're going to watch the original Money in the Bank ladder match. It's a short but sweet one from everything that people say and from the little bits and pieces I remember of this. I believe it's really good. Richie, you picked it for a reason. Well, everybody finds it for WrestleMania 21. Timestamp is going to be 26 minutes and 51 seconds is where we'll start. What made you pick this match, Richie? What about this match made you want to pick it for tonight?
It's the least watched Money in the Bank match that I've never heard anybody talk about it. I've never heard anybody talk about it, never heard anybody do a watch along on it. And it was a great match and underrated. And you had a lot of stars in there. Big time people. You had Kane in there, which is a weird element. I just thought it was an interesting match, and you know, Money in the Bank coming up. You might as well watch one that's not really talked about, because you see everybody play the CM Punk one, you know, all those ones, and I just thought this was one that we could actually take a look at, and maybe not too many people have watched it before.
Awesome, I love it. Do you got it loaded up, my friend?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, everybody. Lawrence, where are you going, man? Oh no, he put a good one here. He says, Dom turns on Liv for a blow-up doll. I don't know about that, Lawrence.
Lawrence with the horn dog comment.
I think Dom can do better than the blow-up doll, Lawrence. All right, once again, everybody, WrestleMania 21, 26 minutes and 51 seconds is where we're going to start it at tonight. So if you guys are ready, if you're not ready right now and you need a couple more minutes and you get loaded in, you want a timestamp, just let me know and I'll give you a timestamp as we're going. But 26:51 is where we're going to start. We're going to go in 3, 2, and 1 and hit play button. Oh, they got the pink on.
Yep.
That Justin Roberts is the greatest ring announcer of all time. You know who said it?
Who's that?
Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone said that?
He said Justin Roberts is the greatest ring announcer of all time.
Shame on him.
How can you say that he's better than Howard fucking Finkel?
Howard Finkel's the best of all time.
Oh, God,
for sure.
Yeah. All right, Jericho's out first here.
You know, WWE at this time, they brought Jericho back and everything like that, and you would think that he would have been the one to win this, but, you know, he kind of fell off after this. That's when they started making him more of a comedic gimmick.
Oh, my God. Look at this. Let's see. Y2J talks about how he invented this match. This was, oh, yeah, because didn't they do something with he created this or something?
He did create it, yeah.
Okay. Benoit's out next. There we go. I got a crazy story Rewind says about a pocket pussy somebody found at work and it went missing.
Oh,
Jeez.
boy. Oh, boy.
Paul says, hey, guys, just checking in. I'm going to watch this later. We'll sync up with the live stream with the wrestling match. Awesome, Paul. Nice to see you, my friend.
Good to talk to you, man.
I loved Benoit's theme song, too. Jesus, look at his face, bro.
Dude, he had a fucking crazy bump in this match.
So somebody fill me in if they know the backstory, why Benoit is so busted up here. I don't remember.
I can't remember why either.
If anybody knows why he's so busted up in this, I'd be interested to know. There's a blast from the past, not Christian, but Tyson Tomko.
Ugh, what a
the problem solver.
What a turd in the past that was.
Yeah, he really was. But
Jericho that's one thing about Jericho is he really couldn't get guys over like that. You know, it was Tomko. There was a few other people.
You mean Christian?
Oh, yeah, Christian. Excuse me.
I always thought Christian was they should have ran with him more as a heel champion.
Oh, absolutely.
Really giving him a run. I love Christian. Oh, my God. The awful old Shelton Benjamin music. Ain't no stopping me now. Oh, so he's the IC champ right here.
Yep.
Like you said about him earlier, I love his in-ring work, man. He's such a just crisp and great competitor.
Yeah.
Such a fucking natural athlete. But the dude has just zero charisma.
Yep. Zero charisma. He's the drizzling shits, in my opinion.
Oh, boy. Here's Edge. This is before all of Edge's title wins, of course.
Was this in 2005?
This would have been in 2005, yeah. So we were at WrestleMania 41, so 20 years ago. So 2005 this is.
Kane looked fucking cool here, his entrance.
Yeah, I don't remember Kane's one. I'll wait.
What timestamp are you
at? 30 minutes and 9 seconds. Edge had a cool look here too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
All right, let's see this Kane one you were talking about. With the ladders lighting up.
Yep.
That is cool. Yeah, that is cool. Look at him laughing.
Yeah.
He looked like such a scary dude too, as this character.
He looked like a freak, man.
Yeah, I know. And then to think he's, a politician now.
Right.
There's nothing. Look who's running our country. So
Kane's a pretty good politician, in my opinion.
yeah, he seems to be very well liked where he's at. I think he plays a little too much into it sometimes with everything.
Yeah.
And he's become a little bit cringy with some stuff that he's done, but I respect his grind and I respect his commitment to his area that he wants to, stay in and lives in and wants to take care of. So good for him.
For sure. They're all attacking him right now, actually, in this match.
That's the smart way to do it. You beat down the biggest, baddest dude in there, man. You gotta take Kane out first, right?
Right. Man, look at the bald spot on Benoit there.
Seriously. Wow. Just for men on that one. Get the spray thing that Ronco guy used to get.
Jericho just made Christian's face unpretty.
All right. He said, so Jericho, I guess, created the Elimination Chamber too. All right. He took a ladder, Jeremy said, to the face the week before. Thanks, Jeremy. So that's why Benoit was so busted up.
Jericho invented the Money in the Bank as well?
Or Elimination Chamber, he said. It was his concept and idea. Bischoff was the one that created it on the... Bischoff was the one on TV that created it, but I don't know whose idea it was for it. But Jeremy did say, like I said, Benoit took a ladder to the face. That's why he's so busted up. All right. He was just an intense guy anyways in the ring. Rewind. He's saying that Chris Benoit was so intense. The match he had on SmackDown again. Okay. So there we go. There's their answer. Christian should have got a run at the top in WWE like TNA, like he did with them. Not a paper WWE, ECW champ, but a WWE champ like Jeff Hardy. I agree. I do. I love Christian. This Edge starting to work Tuesday because Triple H was taking an acting class with Steph. That's the president of the world, Kane. Boy, Kane in a Money in a Bank ladder match is something you would never expect, though, right, Richie?
Oh, absolutely.
Watch Benjamin fly here. Buddy. Jesus! My God, the athleticism on Shelton Benjamin. Did you see him leap that shit, bro? Oh, my God. Now Kane's up to the top. Jeez. All right. Even Kane's friggin' flying. Wow. Not bad for a guy that's about 6'10", probably. But my God, if you guys just watch Shelton Benjamin, with that leap that he made over the top, he's just pure athleticism, this guy. Just as good as they come in the ring. There's certain people that just don't seem like they have to work very hard at it. They can do whatever you put in front of them, and I think Shelton Benjamin's kind of one of those ones. Edge just takes a ladder right to the throat. There goes Christian getting taken out. Kane's picking his ladder up and taking everybody. Jericho's going for the missile drop kick, playing like he hurt his knee a little bit.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine, dude. Boy. Jericho's going to set this one up now.
Yeah, Jericho, I don't know. It just seemed after this point that WWE lost total faith in him, man.
I don't think they had a lot of faith in him in the beginning when he came in. He had his good moments and stuff, of course, but
winning the Undisputed Championship was his biggest moment.
Yeah, they didn't always do him justice, I don't think.
Right.
I think he got disinterested in them at periods of time, especially when his music started to get going too.
Yeah, for sure.
And he always knew he could come back.
Yep.
Benoit with a German. Jeez. How fucking good was Benoit in the ring, Richie?
He was amazing.
Oh.
If you talk about pure skill and technical wrestling, he was the GOAT.
Yeah. He's right up there for sure. Boy, look at that German suplex again on the replay. Jeez.
You always believed his matches, man.
It's like Rewind said earlier. He was just so intense in the ring, and every time you saw him do anything, it just looked believable. Nice reversal. Good. He locks in Kane in the crossface, in the cripple crossface.
Edge's outfit here is pretty damn cool. I love those trunks.
He had a good look coming in tonight. It was really cool. it was kind of it was kind of a brood mixture, and with him.
Yep.
I didn't know what to make of Kane as a politician. He comes across as a bit of a Trump lover, and he's hated because of it. Lawrence said, "Yeah, Lawrence, he gets love for it, and then he gets some hate for it too. But he brings a lot of it on himself either way with whatever he wants. And hey, I respect his beliefs, so I don't think he's malicious."
It was a cheesy spot there with Kane trying to slam those.
Yeah.
Nice spear though.
All right, so another person saying they heard it was Jericho's idea about the Elimination Chamber match.
Wow.
But Kane did win and cash in the same night before. That was way later on, wasn't it?
Was that with the ECW title?
I don't remember. Oh, well, thank you, Rewind. I appreciate this. He says, John's play-by-play, it's not bad. Him and Taz can make a hell of a commentary team. I think so. We could do it 110%, Rewind.
Look at that. Shelton Benjamin just coming off the top there. That was pretty insane. He always had great spots in the match.
It's because, like I was saying earlier, he's just so naturally good.
He's an athlete, man. I mean, he's an athlete for sure. And he was doing the Kofi Kingston spots before Kofi Kingston, was even around. So
it's a shame I love that spin kick that he would always do.
Yeah.
They just did there to kick the ladder in Jericho's face. You got to wonder, they could have given him a good mouthpiece. Somebody that really could have done it for him, I think, if he would have done it right. Not MVP.
He should have been a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, absolutely. 110%. Rabbi, he had great promos, Jericho did, always. Jericho's hilarious. He did do well for a monster heel, for sure, Kane. And he's doing good in this match, too, for a match that isn't really his style, typically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Benjamin is in this match. He signed in at the ladder match at 24, shined in it. Yeah, he was great in that one, too. That's the one he climbs, right, Jeremy, where he climbs the ladder?
Yep.
Chris Benoit, Brock Lesnar, dream match of this time. Two hard hitters for sure.
Yep.
Did we ever get them in the ring together?
I don't recall it unless it was like a Raw or SmackDown, something like that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not remembering any feuds between them, and I don't know if maybe they had a match or something through the years, I'm sure.
Shelton Benjamin with a stinger splash.
Yeah, he went for that. Nice. Does he do it as good as the stinger?
No.
Nobody
does it as good as the stinger.
Boy, the stinger looks old now that he stopped dyeing his hair all the time. Did you see his long white beard?
I did. I think it looks good. I think he now needs to play like the how Mark Hamill plays Luke Skywalker in the new movies where he's kind of like the mentor. That's how Sting needs to be if he's going to continue on his character.
Benjamin is fucking athletic as hell, Rewind said. He sure is, man.
Yeah, he is.
He cashed in on Ray for the world title, Jeremy said. Okay, thanks, Jeremy. There we go. Taz's commentary made me mute the TV. Imagine Taz in this match. He couldn't reach the briefcase.
Wow. It's definitely Jeremy. Come on, dude. That's definitely Jeremy.
I don't know. You never do know. Jeremy's been staying pretty active tonight on both, unless he's multitasking. I don't know. We got two ladders up, and everybody's fighting on the ladders now. Christian's grabbing it. Now we're about to get our third ladder, and Edge is going up on it now.
Where the hell's Kane?
Where is he?
Is he on the ground outside the ring?
Maybe he'll come and push them all over.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't want to be fighting on a ladder, Richie.
No.
Oh, yeah. Boy, how did he not break his shoulder, bro? The way that freaking Benoit landed with Christian wrapping his arm up and kind of jamming it down.
This is going to be a cool moment here with Edge.
What's he going to do here? Is he going to somersault like powerbomb?
Exploder suplex right off the top there.
Oh, man, yeah. There it is. Jeez.
That's a pretty cool move.
Whew. JR's commentary is superb right here, too.
Yeah, he was still the GOAT.
And prayers to Jim on getting healthy. He had surgery to remove the cancer last week.
Yeah. Did they say what stage it was in yet?
No, they didn't.
Wow.
They didn't. But he made it out of surgery, and he's back home, I guess. So prayers to JR.
Yeah.
Jericho's trying to get to the top now. He's tired. You know who he kind of looks like here? Will Ospreay a little bit.
He does, dude.
Yeah.
To the T.
He's got that little Dutch boy haircut.
Here's going to be the Shelton Benjamin move right here.
Is this where he climbs the ladder? Is that the 24 match? I don't know. Is this his spot? One of them?
I'm sure it is.
Let's see.
He's
Jericho's
so fucking
going up.
talented, man.
Yeah. Jericho's reaching for that briefcase right now. Who's going to stop him? There it is.
Yep.
Jesus.
He runs up the shit.
He does the bigger one at 24 is the one that Jeremy was talking about. That's the huge ladder match that they do for it. I think it was in Phoenix.
He did that kind of shit several times.
Do you know how hard that is to do what he just did?
Yeah, we had to do something similar to that in the confidence building courses in the Army side. Yeah.
It ain't easy, folks.
It's not.
To run up the side of a ladder like that at an angle.
And that was a 2x4 that was flat. This had steps on it that you could trip and fall, you know.
How easy it'd be to botch that and hurt himself.
Easily.
Wow, he's good, man. Yeah. Benoit was a great seller. The It Doesn't Matter podcast. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for showing up here. We'll have to check your show out sometime, man.
2003. Rand's always got good knowledge here. He's very knowledgeable, too. 2003, Chris Benoit, Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in 2003.
We're going to
Jeremy,
have to watch that.
Another knowledgeable guy. 24 was in Orlando. All right, there we go.
Sheldon
Tomko's in the ring.
They're upside down.
Tomko's as big as Kane is almost.
Yeah. Why do you think a guy like Tomko never made it?
He had a bad drug issue.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think that was part of it at some points. He got caught. I think he robbed a pharmacy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he had a big drug issue at some point, if I remember correctly. He's another one, like you see, he's got a big look. He just didn't seem to have a lot of charisma. Christian's going for that briefcase. Nope. Kane's just a little bit bigger than Tomko, not by much. Christian's got it. He's about ready to take it off the hooks, but Kane is having none of that.
Nothing.
He moves fast.
Moment.
Bro, doesn't Kane move fast for a big guy?
Well, yeah, he always was the type of guy. He would come off the top rope, do that crazy clothesline, stuff like that. Kane was always great.
Gotcha, Jeremy. He liked to shoot up. Let's see. Tomko liked to shoot up at the fruit named Neighborhood Grow, Applebee's. I think you're in.
Well, at least he's not snorting heroin in a Walmart.
Seriously, at least he's not going and doing that shit, robbing those pharmacies or whatever.
Off a rump roast.
He's just hitting the fruit market, the neighborhood bar and grill.
Is that Kane right there? Yeah.
Jericho and Kane on the top. Is Kane going to take a bump off the top here for somebody that big?
Absolutely.
Oh!
Wow. It's a pretty good bump there.
It's a good match, bro.
It's not bad. The year after this is really good too.
All right. What was the one the year after? Do you remember the match?
I think it was CM Punk that won the year after this, 2006. If I'm not mistaken. You guys can correct me in the crowd. It's either, I think it was either CM Punk or Kane won the year after.
Yeah, he seemed to be his own worst enemy, Lawrence. He's talking about Tomko, and he said he did okay in TNA. Yeah, he had a little run there with Christian, I think, again, and maybe did a little bit of stuff afterwards. But, oh, boy, Benoit's going to the top here.
Yeah, this is the bump I was telling you about earlier.
Look at how Benoit sells this arm. He's selling like that arm still hurts.
It's believable in every way. Benoit was just – he was an artist, man.
Yeah. Man, going up that high to do that headbutt is nothing. Jeez. He just blew his face open right there when he did it, too. Did you see the blood just coming out? So it's like spurt out? Yeah. If you guys watch that on the replay, if they show a replay of that, watch how his head hits, and you can instantly see it burst on his head when it hits the mat. Watch it.
That's a concussion right there.
Yeah. Watch it again there. you can just see it. Boom.
The insane bumps that Benoit would do every single night. I mean,
you wonder why it ended the way it did with his CTE for him, man. Come on.
No wonder. His style, he just couldn't keep up with it.
Tomko was a big man hire, like some Heidenreich, Snitsky, and Nathan Jones. Yeah, just guys that they brought in for a temporary shock and maybe a little buzz to see where it went, and it didn't go anywhere. I think 22 was RVD. He won. I think Punk was 24 and 25. All right. Yeah, we've talked about the Benoit murder as a conspiracy many times here in the past.
Yeah, we have. And I believe it. Look at the headbutts there.
That's the type of guy you wouldn't want to piss off to with a Benoit, because he loved what he did, and if he's the type to me that for people that they didn't show the right respect for the business, he's the type of guy that's going to handle it.
Absolutely.
Edge nailing him with the chair and is now climbing up to go grab the briefcase. Boom.
Man,
there it is.
Stole the victory.
Your first Money in the Bank winner, Edge.
Rated R superstar.
What a feather in his cap that was, too.
Yeah, and then that set up, long run with John Cena and stuff like that. And
Rated RKO, all the other stuff.
The program that they had was amazing.
Yeah, pretty wild, pretty wild stuff, man.
Yep.
Benoit chops were vicious, Rabbi Moses said.
Benoit was better than Ric Flair at chops, in my opinion.
Did you see Ric Flair take a dig at JR this week?
I didn't. What did he do?
So they were talking about, you see Edge, and what a great moment it was for him here, at this point of his career. And I'm sure a lot of people were giving him big congratulations when he came back for getting this opportunity. And let's just say Edge ran with it and made a hell of a career for himself, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Great
match for Richie for the pick there.
Yeah, really I hope everybody enjoyed it. It's not one that you talk about often, and not one that you see. So
yeah, that was a good match, man. That was a lot of fun, short, sweet, to the point. But Ric Flair, so Jim Ross and Conrad had done their podcast, and they were talking about Jim Ross, has had his moments. I mean, Flair got him fucking fired from WWE for the SummerSlam thing all those years ago, when Rick was inappropriate for the 9 millionth time. And then Rick had taken, years ago when JL was on the plane ride to hell episode of Dark Side of the Ring, and, talked about Flair's professionalism on there. And Rick didn't take to it too well and did the Rick, acting like a bitch and, would make digs at him through the years. And it just seems like he never forgave him, type of thing. And he ended up, they were talking about an incident in WCW with JR and Conrad where Gary Jester, I believe it was his name. He was like the head of WCW at the time or something really big in the company. And they were at his wife's birthday party, and it wasn't like a wrestling affair, but Rick was invited and all that. And Rick got really intoxicated, of course, and ended up walking out at this guy's, who's one of the top executives there, his wife's birthday party with his dinghy hanging out and, doing all the crazy Ric Flair stuff. So JR talked about it. So Rick ended up going on and getting upset with JR, and basically they were discussing his cancer treatment and a thing, and he was acting like JR gets on and does this stuff for attention, was calling him basically an attention whore and all these things about Jim Ross.
Ric Flair calling somebody an attention whore.
Yes.
Wow, that's
I know, right? Pot calling kettle black on that one,
Sure.
You guys can go read the stuff for yourself. I might have screwed up a little part of it there. I'm just bringing it off my memory from what I've seen. But, then Rick went to go and delete one of the tweets. And he always writes every letter, the first thing in capitals. I don't understand why he does that. But, you would think he would know better enough when he does it. But that's how you can tell Rick is tweeting. If everything's in a capital letter, each word, if it's in a capital letter, it's Ric Flair doing it.
What's Rabbi Moses talking about here? He says Ric Flair's having issues right now. What issues? Is it physical issues, medical issues?
I think it's mental alcohol and all the things that he's always done.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. Ric Flair's looked at as one of the greatest of all time, but he's just fallen off, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's sad to see. And, You don't take a fucking dig at a guy that's got cancer, man, and is going through
Right.
that. You know,
Right. You just don't.
He's fighting for it, man. You don't do that to people and say that shit whether you like them or not. Jim wasn't saying anything bad about him. He was telling a truthful story about how Rick flashed the boss's wife like like an idiot. He wasn't disrespectful about it. I heard it. There was nothing. It was just a story of something they brought up in the show.
Right, for sure.
Rick is such an asshole, man. I just don't like the dude.
I don't either. I don't like what he's turned into or how he acts or any of that. It's sad, dude. Sad to see.
Yeah, he's never going to stop drinking, Lawrence. You'd think after the guy died,
he will die an alcoholic.
Oh, absolutely. The guy dies basically, and has that massive, brain injury, stroke, whatever it was that he had, heart issues, everything. He didn't quit drinking from that. He ain't giving it up at any point.
Right. I
agree with you here. I think they had so much to book with Matt and Edge and Matt Hardy here for their feud that they had with the grudge over Lita.
It was too real. I don't think they should have did that. That's one thing that I think they should have rewrote and never have done. I thought
it was the hottest thing going on at the time. I was in Korea at that point, so I remember I was in Korea. Me and my buddies we would get it on AFN, so we would get to watch it on AFN, and that's the Armed Forces Network for those that don't know. And we would watch it, and it was the prime of what was going on when they were doing the stuff with Matt Hardy and him. And it was our favorite thing to watch every week is that we would see, what is Matt going to come out again? What are they going to do with this? Are they going to bring Matt back? We loved the reality of it. I remember all my wrestling friends at that point. It was the hottest angle that they had going. And it was like, just to quote that funny line, that from a few weeks ago that you like, it was just a popcorn fart in time and just didn't fucking do anything. They just did not book it right.
They didn't follow through with it.
No. It's like they had great ideas behind it, and here's a guy that used the internet to his advantage, gets fired, uses the internet in his platform, meaning Matt Hardy, and probably got himself a better deal from the process because the fans were pissed they canned him,
Yeah, exactly.
Internet worked for him on that one.
For sure.
He'll be cremated and burned for 3 days, man. There's going to be a lot of alcohol in that body when that happens.
Absolutely.
Ric Flair became Ric Flair. He will die as him in the mat on TV. He's Ric Flair. He's not Richard Flair or whatever his name is. That's who he is. He admits it too. So
yeah, he does.
Ric Flair, 24 hours later, gets into trouble at birthday parties. He's caught in the restroom with a drink and a rope. I mean, we had the pizza party incident a few weeks ago, a few months ago or whatever last year.
I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot going on. Well, we hope you guys had fun with us tonight. We know it's a little shorter than normal, but next week, think about your top heels. We'll say top 5. If you want to do top 5?
Yeah, let's do top 5. That works. You'll do 5, I'll do 5, and then we'll have a topic discussion, stuff like that.
And we'll let you guys present your reasoning behind picking, 1 or 2 of your top heels. So I'm interested to see everybody's list on that. And credit to Jeremy. Jeremy, that was his idea. He wanted to do it for just a small segment, but I was like, no, that's a full show right there that we can get out of that. Yep. It's a good topic too. I like that one. And I went and looked in the archives, and we've never done it. So
we've never done that before?
No, we never did it.
Wow.
Yeah. I went back and I looked at all of our Facebook Facebook's deleted all the live stuff because that's what they do now. But I went back and looked for the last few years on our YouTube content because everything's uploaded to YouTube. Yeah. And went and looked on it. I didn't see anything. We've never done it. Interesting, right?
Interesting. Yeah. Even on our old YouTube channel, we didn't do it. It's crazy.
Yep. Rewind, thanks for coming out. Everybody, thanks for coming out. Yeah, Joey, get in on that next week. Everybody, Lawrence, Rabbi Moses as well. Jeremy, good topics we got coming up. Oh, shockers. I like shockers. My number 1 is going to shock everybody.
Huh.
Okay. For me, it's not it's not, people will automatically think who watch the show and know me and know who my favorite, wrestlers of all time. They think I would go for somebody, that person, but I'm not going to. My favorite.
I think you're going to say Rick Rude.
You'll have to see. Next week. But my top 1 is not what most people would expect from me who watched the show for a while. Terry Funk forever.
Yep.
All right, guys. We had a great time with you. Richie, closing thoughts before we get off?
I appreciate all you guys coming out and listening to the show, supporting it. We got great content on the way, you guys. And just hopefully we bring a little bit of happiness to your week. I know life's a little tough and works hard and stuff like that, but when you get to this show, you get to hang out with your guys and watch some wrestling, talk some wrestling. Hope you guys are enjoying the content, man. We'll see you down the road.
Yep, we'll see you guys next week. Every Wednesday night we'll be here once again. Sorry it's a little shorter than normal this week, but we both just been working our butts off and got to get up early in the morning. So we'll make it up next week. We'll have our normal length and time.
Oh no! Rewind said he'll give the shocker to Moses.
Oh boy,
we better get out of here.
Yep, top 5 of all time, top 5 heels of all time. Think about your list for next week, guys. All right, everybody. Until next week, be well, be safe, and we will see you all again really soon right here on Wrestling with Reality.